How's it going, everybody? Rob Ray here today, and we are back with our Honolulu Hammerheads franchise mode. And in today, we are in round number 2 of the playoffs, up against the Calgary Flames after beating the Chicago Blackhawks in 5 games. And well, the Blackhawks really didn't have a defense, so that 5 games makes sense. It was just that we won in 5. We started off slow, but then we picked it up there towards the last. I think the last 3 games it was 1-1 after 2, and then the last 3 we just kind of picked up steam and it just kind of played like the team that I expected. So. We're going to take on the Calgary Flames, who seem to be a very similar rated team to us as far as how they performed. But we will check out their lines after I show you guys our lines. So we have Joel Iginla, Braden Point, and then Victor Arvidsson here. Victor Arvidsson, I think we just traded for him this past trade deadline, and he looks very, very good. He's played with us really, really well, and he's, Besser on the second line just seems to work. Like, the dude had 97 points on line 2 with Rask and Hoffman, so I'm gonna leave things the way they are, and, we have options if we want to change it. We went and acquired Hosang, who is on his way out the team already, so he made his way off one team, and then is going to proceed to play so poorly that he's going to force his way off of this team, too. He's not going to get a contract extension from me. Bukestad, and then Dickinson. Stevenson, Sorelli, Lamico, our fourth line. Then defensively, we've got the Super Swedes with Rasmus Dahlin and Johan Edler, Gustafsson and Schultz, and then Hayden Fleury, who's been incredibly poor. He's actually sucked ever since we've had him. He's gone after this season, 85, I know. So we're going to have some money to spend this free agency period, hopefully. But hopefully we can send those guys off with a Stanley Cup ring. And then John Merrill rounds out the defensive core. In goal, we have a 90 overall John Gibson, backed up by Thomas Greiss. But hopefully Greiss doesn't have to see the ice, even though he did see it last series. Hopefully Gibson is able to play every game in this series and lead us to a series victory. But now we're going to go ahead and check out what the Calgary Flames are going to be throwing at us today in round number 2. Hopefully, I think they beat the Sharks in round number 1 in 7. Goudreau, Monahan, Lindholm leading the charge there. 5 points, 6 points, 8 points for Lindholm, but he's a -1, so that kind of bodes well for us. Then big ol' minuses there. Is it their third line, again, that's absolutely carrying them? No. Third line is just being fine, and then the fourth line is a big ol' minus, so they must not be winning by a lot of goals, like maybe 1 or 2, and then losing by a lot when they do lose. But they have Hannafin and Brody. Hannafin's played well. He's got 4 points. Their second defensive pairing is not good. Their third defensive pairing is fine with Scandella, most likely because he's a defensive defenseman, but they have two-way and offensive here. They don't really have much defense, I guess, there on that second pairing. And their first pairing should be good, but it's just not. And then in goal is Rittich and Kincaid. So Rittich looks like he's taken the brunt of the games. Yeah, he played all 7. Keith Kincaid did get in there for 10 saves, but Rittich has not been that much of a difference maker. So I think in every phase of the game, we exceed the Calgary Flames, and we should hopefully win this series. I just think we've got such a better team. Now, I'm not saying the Calgary Flames are bad, because it's not a bad team at all, what we just looked at. But I think ours is just that much better than theirs that I'd be confident to pick us in this series. But hey, who knows? You got to play the games right. Let's get into game number 1 here of round number 2, and hopefully we can make the Western Conference Finals. But it's all going to start, with this first period, and there we go. Iginla on Rittich in the first period, 1-0 us. After 2, though, Calgary, a different story. McLennan on their second line, who I'm pretty sure I said they could really improve upon. If I didn't, well, they can improve upon him. He comes back to bite me for thinking that. And then Marco Scandella there as well, getting Calgary a lead. So it's unlikely sources there for Calgary as they are absolutely blitzing us in shots. And then Monahan on their first line is going to go ahead and score on Gibson. And it is now 3-1 halfway through this first period. I mean, the shots are so heavily in Calgary's favor. I want to know if we took plenty of penalties there in periods 1 and 2. But that's going to be it. There's going to be no comeback from us in game number 1. Take a quick look at not the face-offs, the penalties. So first period, Dahlin. Second period, we took 2. Third period, okay, yeah, the refs didn't blow their whistle at all on Calgary whatsoever. So we took 4 penalties. I mean, it's not great, but geez, 3-1. I gotta believe that that's not gonna be the story of the series. So I'm not gonna panic yet. If we lose another one, I'm gonna panic. I'm gonna freak out, and all of a sudden Victor Arvidsson's gonna get his ass demoted. We're gonna totally rearrange everything. But not too sure. Didn't really get to see I didn't check the minuses. I should have done that and seen what lines weren't working. Hopefully all of our lines are working in game number 2. So they were. Edler scored on the power play, but then Anderson and Nordstrom are going to both score on Gibson. This time our shots definitely, it's more even. That's all that matters. But we're still losing 2-1. Unable to beat Rittich more than once so far per game. Only one period gone. After 2 periods, we actually do solve Rittich with Schultz, Aginla again, and Dahlin again. So the refs evening out the penalty calls, it seems, in game number 2 here. Power play goals. That's 3 of our 4 on the power play. So let's go ahead, keep it rolling here. Up 4-2, another power play for us, and Aginla's going to get another one on the power play. Up 5-2. Refs love blowing the whistle here. They want to be the stars of this second round series. Calgary versus Honolulu. We are up 5-2 though, with 8 minutes to go. I really don't see us losing this. Braden Point, yeah, there we go. Okay, they scored. I'm just gonna skip it. Dubé, I don't really care. Sorelli scores, and we win 7-3. That's exactly the kind of game I was hoping for and kind of expected. Point with 4 points. Dahlin with 3, and Aginla with 2 goals and an assist. So Point continues his just absolute dominance. Aginla's been very good at scoring goals so far in this series. I think he's got, what? That's 3 goals now in our 2 games against the Calgary Flames, so maybe he just likes playing against Calgary. Hopefully he can keep that up. But Braden Point, I love seeing our number 1 player play like our number 1 player. Game number 3, though, let's see if we can continue that hot scoring touch. After the first period, we don't score any. Anderson is the only one to get. That's 2 goals in 2 games in a row for Anderson. Second period sees us go ahead and get a 2-1 lead. Aginla again scores. That's now 4 in 3 games. And Merrill, another unlikely source, getting a goal. But it's the playoffs. That's what it's all about. Unlikely names becoming heroes. And it's Victor Arvidsson on the power play to give us that very, very crucial insurance marker as Calgary draws some penalties, but we're able to score, kill him off, and then Brock Besser on the second line gets us a 4-1 lead. Monahan's going to score there, give them some opportunity to come back with 5 minutes to go. Aginla's going to give us that 3-goal lead again. We're going to go ahead and skip the rest of it. 5-2 victory there. Aginla with another goal. What is that? Now 5 goals in 3 games. If he can keep up that kind of pace, boys, we're moving on. If Aginla can keep up what he's doing, it's insane. I don't know if Point's just feeding him that well. Arvidsson got himself a goal too, so it was nice to see his name on the score sheet. But we are now up 2-1 in the series. It's beautiful. We stole one back on the road. Can we win both here in the Saddle Dome in Calgary? First period. A very active first period is 3 goals. 2 power play goals for us. Our power play is clicking. Coming from the 3 spots. Same depth from the net. But bing, bang, boom. Right across top, bottom there. Left to right. Hanifin and Monahan get the 2 goals in that first period. A wild first period. And we're up 3-2 after 1. After 2, it's a completely different story. As Victor Arvidsson got us up 4-2. And then they exploded with 3 goals there. 1 Kachuk, another goal for Anderson. Is Anderson like some scoring machine that I don't know of? Isn't he on their second defensive pairing? The one that sucks? Okay, and then Backlund, who is on that second line. But Aginla is going to stay red hot, boys. And we tie the game 5-5. That's huge. If we can go up 3-1, that's going to be amazing, especially taking both on the road. We have an opportunity on the power play now, too. Can't get it done, and Lindholm is going to get that go-ahead goal for Calgary there on home ice. 6-5 right now with just a minute to go. Half a minute. Why did I say half a minute? It's 30 seconds. I don't know. All I do know is that we come out of that one losers. And scoring 5, you'd like to see, Gibson is not playing that much better than Rittich, which is kind of making me upset and disappointed, because why would I spend money on a 90 overall goalie when this 82 overall Rittich is going to battle him the same? But I just noticed that Tampa Bay swept their way into the Eastern Conference Finals. Doesn't matter right now to us, because we don't care about the East. We care about the West, and more specifically, Calgary. Back on home ice, it's really now a best of 3. Series is tied 2-2. Who's going to win this very pivotal game here in game number 5? First period, well, it's going to be Aginla and Edler. Goudreau gets the start, gets the scoring started, I should say, and then Aginla answers just 17 seconds later, and Edler, just 30 seconds after Aginla, gets us a 2-1 lead, and the shots are heavily in our favor. I wonder if Calgary is now taking quite a few penalties, as the refs seem to love to blow their whistles in this series. After period number 2, Brock Besser scores, and Aginla scores again. That's now 2 for him in this game. I don't know how many he scored in the last one. Maybe 1, maybe 2. Is that now 7 goals for him, and this is the 5th game? 8 maybe? I don't even know. Jesus. But a 4-2 lead is Monahan on the power play. But Fleury, after I was talking Fleury, I'm telling him he's going to get off the team. He gives us a 5-2 lead, where Backlund then snatches it back to a 5-3 lead. But Victor Rask on the power play, boys. Our power play is deadly, and Gustafsson is going to give us a 7-3 lead. I'm going to skip the rest of the game. Nothing happened. 44 shots to 19. 3 goals on 19 shots is not great, but, we got the win. The offense did its job. The power play did its job. That's all that matters. And it's Capitals Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's potentially going to be Blues Hammerheads in the West. But we got a game to handle here before we can start talking matchups in the Western Conference Finals. So let's go ahead and get into game number 6, a potential game where we could punch our ticket to the Western Conference Finals. It is an elimination game. Ladies and gentlemen, first period sees nothing happen, but the shots are heavily in our favor. That bodes well. That bodes really, really well. Second period, and it's 2-1. Besser scores on the power play, but Monahan and Lindholm don't want to get knocked out on home ice. Calgary's up 2-1, 3-1 as Mangiapane on their 4th line is going to get them that insurance marker. We have a power play, and Victor Rask is going to score from center ice. Finally, the cheese goes in our favor, and there's another power play that goes awry. 3-2 in favor of Calgary. Still 5 minutes to go. Can we even this thing up and force overtime with the series on the line? Calgary's gonna force a game number 7. Oh my gosh, the last series still going is ours, and Calgary fights back from a 3-2 deficit. I don't care about Central Scouting right now. I'm caring about game number 7. And Calgary fights back from 3-2, forces game number 7. It's been an even series so far. All that matters is this final game of the series. Win or go home, boys. Let's get out there and do it. Iginla, I don't think I saw you in the last one, my guy. Let's see you in this one when it really counts. Let's go. First period. Boys, let's go. Braden Point, Joel Iginla, Brock Besser, the 3 studs, our superstars, show up here in the first period. Braden Point gets the party started. Joel Iginla gets his goal like we all knew he would, and Brock Besser, the man who's been on fire on line number 2 on the power play. Period number 2 coming up, and yes, it's not one of those where they instantly get it back. It's 4-1 now in favor of Honolulu. Mike Hoffman gets us the 4th goal. Backlund cuts the lead back to 3, giving Calgary a chance to maybe storm back here in this 3rd period. Oh, did I just jinx it? Did I just give them the will they needed? Or is that just Gibson was not quite into it mentally? If you're not into it mentally in Game 7, then you don't deserve to be here. Oh my God. Braden Point, thank you, Jesus, as McLennan scores on the power play. And speaking of power play goals, it's Joel Iginla yet again. Is he going to get himself a hat trick here in game number 7? He's going to take the title of Mr. Game 7. And there it is, boys. We're into the Western Conference Finals. 6-3 victory on home ice over Calgary. Joel Iginla with a goal there, giving us 6. Braden Point, oh my God, he got us the 5th goal. That was a lot closer than I would have liked. It was 4-3. I really thought I jinxed it. I got so worried. But man, in Game 7, who are the 3 stars? Point with 4 points. Iginla with 3 points, 2 goals. Hoffman gets himself a goal and an assist. So I'm not going to touch any other buttons because I know it likes to freeze on the shot summary screen there. But Braden Point has been absolutely on fire here, guys. 21 points, 12 games played, and we will be taking on the St. Louis Blues in the Western Conference Finals. That should be a good one. Out east, it's Tampa, Washington, 2 Giants that have been around, the conference finals for the Eastern Conference quite a few times in recent memory. But all we got to do is beat St. Louis, and we've punched our ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. But that'll have to come in the next episode, boys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.